Hey there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and a new 5-minute card video. Today I'll be making this cute card right here. We're jumping right into the fun. I'm using the Tree-mendous tree die set from Heffy Doodle and this Woodgrain texture plate. This tree set has lift the flap dies, so I'm going to put one of those in there too. First, I want to get inky and make some backgrounds. So I used my Salty Ocean Distress Oxide spray right on my glass mat and sprayed it with some water, and I'm picking that up with some cardstock. But the background I really want is this one, picking up the leftover ink after doing the first pressing of ink. So that's the one I'm going to use for my sky. Then I'm going to take some Distress Mica Spray Stain in Crooked Broomstick, I think that's the one. Yeah, and I'll do the same exact thing. This one's going to be for my tree, and again, I'm going to use the second pressing because I am going to add ink over the top of this one to give it kind of a faux wood grain look. All right, for my sky, I can use this stitched rectangle die to cut out the exact portion I want for my card, and I love how that sky looks. Okay, I have some vintage photo distress ink in an ink cube, and I'm just dragging that along the section of the paper I want to die cut my tree from, and I also used walnut stain, so 2 different colors of brown. If you count the spray, 3 different colors of brown, and look at all the texture that gives my tree. And then I can run it through with the wood grain stitched background die and add even more interest to this tree. Now it's time to go ahead and cut that lift the flap. There's an oval one and a rounded square, so you could do either one on this tree. I'm going to add a little bit more of that walnut stain ink around the edges just to really identify the edges, and it will, help it look more dimensional. I have some green cardstock here from Heffy Doodle that I'm applying a double-sided sticky sheet to. I'm applying that to the front because I want to put something on the front that is so cool. You'll see. I'm going to take the leftover piece from cutting that out and die cut a little bit of grass for the bottom of the card. So I've peeled off the backing. The front of this cardstock is sticky, and I am sprinkling on some Flock from Pink and Maine. This stuff is so soft, and it's going to add the coolest texture to my card. I love having different kinds of texture on my cards, and this is like so cool. And everybody who gets this card, or anybody who gets this card, whoever gets this card is going to want to touch that and feel it. All right, so for the back of the tree, I'm adding a little scrap of that background, so when you open it, it has the same color and not the blue sky behind it. And I even added a little ink to it to make it darker on the inside. I'm also using a scrap of that to die cut a branch, so I have a little spot for my squirrel to sit on. And the squirrel is from the Nuts for You stamp set. The dog is from Who Let the Dogs Out, both from Heffy Doodle. I stamped several acorns and the little bone that looks like a present because these two are BFFs. This dog reminds me of my dog, so I colored it to look like my dog. He's obsessed with the little squirrel in the backyard that torments him on the regular, and so I thought, what if they became friends? So that's the idea behind this card. So I'm just using my Copic markers to color these out very simply. You can see the markers that I used right on the screen. I just did 2 color blends for the dog and the squirrel and colored with a single marker on the acorns and the bone. I'm popping up my little pup. He might be named Toby, like my dog. There's the squirrel on the branch. He's got some acorns, and then we'll put some inside that tree and the bone, because that's going to be a little gift from the squirrel to his best friend, the dog. And I just love filling in the scene with some of these cute little images, like the paw prints. I put a large one and a small one on the tree trunk because that's what furry BFFs do. They put their paw prints on the tree. I stamped a sentiment and some of the tiny hearts on the card directly using some crimson ink. Well, the T on it got a little smudged, I think because my cardstock was warped from all the water. So I decided to stamp it again on white. I drew a little cloud around that, and then I'm going to put that over the top of the one that doesn't look so good, which meant I had to restamp one of the hearts. So I had 3. I drew some little circles so it looked like the thought or the saying was coming right from the dog. Then I just felt like the other side of the tree needed a little something, so I stamped out this bird feeder from the Nuts for You set and hung that there, and it ties in a little bit more of the red that's in this card. So thank you so much for stopping by for another 5-minute card making video. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe. I have all kinds of paper crafting videos for you. I'll see you soon on the next one. Happy stamping! Bye!